Hello and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy and today we're going to be doing a full review episode. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome, come on in. All my return viewers, you know how we do, so let's shake a leg, shall we? So today we're going to be doing a full review of the Isle of Skye blended Scotch whiskey. This is a 12-year at 40% alcohol by volume, limited batch release, matured in oak casks. Yep, had to keep her in the box for our last move to our more permanent residence. Let's take a quick look, see the back of the box. It's got a nice little map there of the Isles of Skye. Try and give you a little, just go ahead and pause it. For those of you on phones, you can probably go ahead and zoom in, pinch and zoom. I have not read all that. Just to be honest. Imported by Silver Lake Imports in Miami, Florida. It's 700 milliliter. I didn't even realize that either. Rich, rounded, and rewarding, it says. And that's it for the box. Thank you very much. Let's move on, shall we? So we are here for the full review. This is part 2 of a 3-part series. Off the rip, full review. We get it down about halfway, and it's been sitting for a little less than 2 weeks. During this whole final move part, I let it sit there for 2 weeks, a week, 2 weeks, best as I can. Try and keep on a schedule and keep things flowing. But the way I had things, and I was keeping things pretty steady, is every weekend I would buy 3 bottles, and I would do the off the rips, then come back and, the next weekend I would do 3 more bottles and sip those down during that week or the weekend. And by that time they would be the halfway point, and I would let them sit there. And I had several bottles just doing this rotation every weekend. I would have 3 off the rips, 3 full reviews, and 3 final pours. And that just kind of had a nice steady rhythm until we did this whole move. So I decided just to run things out, and in that process I decided I wanted to go ahead and get caught up, because having content being recorded way in advance before it gets released puts you and I at a disadvantage during our communications. So if we want to talk about a bottle, by the time you see this video, I will have moved on. This bottle will be gone. So it's nice, beautiful, elegant labeling. I really like that. I just wish maybe they had a cork, but I don't really hold that too harshly against them these days. Distilled, blended in Scotland. Ian McLeod. If you know Mr. Randy's channel, you know that name. Everything you saw in the box is now on the back of there. I love how they put the biggest stuff up there, most important. And then you put the little thing down there. We don't need to hear from them. Silver Lake, Florida. I haven't heard of Silver Lake besides the distributor. 700 milliliter. Okay. Isle of Skye. Double matured. It says limited batch release. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything about that on the bottle, unless it was on the back. Hold fast. Nope. It says nothing about double matured on the bottle. So it does have a nice, it smells more like a whiskey, like an American whiskey, with just a slight little twinge of Scotch on the nose. I'm getting like, it's just sub pencil eraser, and that's usually getting a good bourbon. Maybe it's ex-bourbon casks. I'm getting some, yeah, it's probably like 80% bourbon with maybe 10% Scotch here. So Mr. Randy did pay just about dead on $27 out the door for this at my Total Wines and more. They have a lot more offerings of different kind of stuff because they call it this Spirits Direct. It's basically that, it's through them you can get these, because they go out, they source it, or they buy it from these people you know, however they do. So the ABV, we did say it's 40% alcohol by volume. The nose is probably like 80% bourbon. Let's go ahead and get that first palating out of the way, that acclimation palating, and we'll continue to talk. Oops, I forgot a step. I break out Mr. Randy's handy dandy whiskey color scale, and we're gonna take this off screen real quick here. It looks very much close to a burnt amber. I'm gonna say it's burnt amber. I don't know why amber got burnt, but those are starting to run. My nose and my sinuses have been really wonky since we moved here. The elevation of San Antonio versus Killeen is a little, I think it's a little over 200 feet. You can instantly tell a difference when we got down here. The air smelled differently and it just felt differently. The humidity, the dew point, stuff like that. The mornings are nice and cool, like in the 60s. Even though it gets like 95 in the afternoon, it drops pretty quickly overnight. Enough of the weather report. Let's go ahead and get this next one on here and talk about it. Isle of Skye 12 year. I did not get a whole lot off of this one. I do feel a little bad about that. It was next to nothing. It is an Ian McLeod distiller product. Double matured, but it doesn't say what it's matured in. But I do believe it has to be ex-bourbon barrels because it is serious, giving me serious bourbon vibes here. It's got that slow, warm heat that like a good smooth bourbon will give you. Getting like dried fruits and cinnamon with oakiness and vanilla. All that bourbon characters are nice and rounded and smoothed out. It's almost like it's like they accidentally put a bourbon in here instead of a Scotch. Yeah, you can get real deep in that glass and you could tell that there is definitely Scotch in it. Let me be a little swirl-rooney. Viscosity is meh. Was it? Yeah. It's viscosity is it's okay. I probably would expect a little more out of a 12 year. It does transfer well enough on the palate into the mouth. Let's go ahead and get this finish on. There you go. That's a little better. That's a lot better actually. I just wonder how sometimes it gets like that. Kaya position. I hate that guy. Anyways, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and get that done. That way, as soon as I finish these videos and upload them, they come right to you. Never miss an episode. Because if you do, you might miss the one episode that just might make you... Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The finish is a little awkward. I'm having a bit of a problem here with the finish because I'm getting this really odd on the tongue. The tongue is sort of like something's not supposed to be there. I don't think it's the whiskey. I may not have rinsed the glass out completely, which is not usually my thing. I'm usually very obsessive about everything. And so that's weird. It's got this like weird kind of like, I'm not going to say it's the whiskey. It can't be the whiskey. But I'm getting a good amount of heat on the back end, the cheeks and back end. The tongue, we're just going to have to say it's a non-applicable at this time, unfortunately. You'll have to come back for the final pour and see if it really is the whiskey or not. I might even notate in the description whether it was or not. I need to spend more time in that area of the videos and whatnot, especially on YouTube. It's got a little bit on the lips. It's got a good amount in the cheeks and the back end. The back end It's got a real long, lingering, like sustained warmth. It's like a good bourbon. It really does. I don't know what happened to my tongue. I think I might have some issues with my tongue. I might need to get that replaced. Well, we're exceeding 10 minutes, so we'll try and speed this up a little bit. Where's my tissue? So anyway, finish it up real quick. My score, besides the whole tongue debacle, snafu, it's really like running parallel with a decent bourbon, with just a little twinge of Scotch in there. The Scotch part is, like I said, dried fruits, a little bit of honey, and then that's about it. This is, like I said, probably more than 80% bourbon and less than 20%, 10 to 20% Scotch. My score on this is going to be, I'll give it a weak 4 out of 5. For sub $30, you're getting a 12-year-old double matured Scotch that runs seriously parallel with bourbon. I think it's pretty darn good. I mean, that heat in the back is still hanging in there. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a weak 4 out of 5. I think it's pretty good. I think it would be a little bit better if it had more Scotch than bourbon. It'd probably bump it up to at least a solid 4 out of 5 if I can get a little bit more Scotch out of this. So if you're a bourbon drinker, if you're a Scotch drinker and you want to go a little bit more parallel with bourbon and try and maybe transition to bourbon and start drinking bourbon, this I would definitely say would be a good transitional one. You can have this, you can get used to the whole bourbon feeling and characters and whatnot, and you could definitely take that. My fair price, I think it's kind of underpriced, to be completely honest. I think this would be a lot better, somewhere between 30 to 35. I wouldn't mind paying 35 for this. I would not have mind paying 35 for this. I still would have bought it. There are several other expressions out there from the Isle of Skye. There's at least 3, but I believe there's 5. Let's see. My fair price, like I said, I'll take it for 27 out the door, but yeah, I could definitely see it resting comfortably in the 30 to 35 zone. Would I buy this again? Not this one, but I definitely would have no qualms purchasing the 12-year double matured Isle of Skye blended Scotch whiskey. But there's several more on that list to go for. So would I buy this again? Maybe. It depends. There it is. Do me a favor in the comment section. Tell me where you're at. What are you drinking? What's going on in the world of libations around you? And have you had an Isle of Skye? Which one have you had? Let's talk about it. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. Have a good one.